So I had a really, really positive home buying experience the second time around because I went through it 2 times. But if I could do it all over again, there are 4 things that I would have changed. And I'm going to talk to you about them in this video. So like and subscribe and let's get into it. The first thing I would have did, which is what I wanted to do, was purchase a multi-unit. And a multi-unit can be a duplex, a triplex, quadruplex, I think that's a term. Basically, it allows you to have more than one livable space at a time with your purchase. So with a duplex, usually that can be, maybe you and your family living on one side and renting out the other side, and then if it's a tri, then it's, you may live on one side and rent out the other two. Like, it allows you to become a homeowner and an investor at the same time, and also allow the tenants to help you pay your mortgage, if not pay all of the mortgage, depending on when you buy and what your interest rate is, and how much your purchase price is. Like, I wanted to do that, but when I was ready to buy, there was not a lot of inventory out there that fit what I was looking for. But I wish I wouldn't have been a stickler the way that I was. Granted, I don't regret my home. I'll thank the Lord every day I'm in here. But knowing that I could have lived there for 1 year, had a tenant, and had that tenant paying my mortgage, and then moved on to the next one, like, if you want to retire the way that I want to retire, like, you have to be kind of making those kind of moves. And I wasn't thinking that way. I was thinking too much about what I wanted. But not to the point where this ain't making me no money, because this place is making me money. And I'm going to talk about that one in another video. But I wish I would have just got over myself and opened my mind to some of the duplexes that I saw on the market. So I recommend you do that. Like, consider multi-units, because they are money makers. They are money makers while you live there, and they are money makers when you leave. Because guess what? When you move, that's 2 units. When you move, that's 3 units. That's if you have a triplex. Like, there's so much money in it. Like, don't sleep. The second thing I would have done is gotten a roommate sooner. So for me, roommate life is not for me. I've made it for me, though. I have made it for me. I've obviously lived with people. I've lived with people most of my life. So when I finally purchased, I was so excited to just be alone. But bills add up. And I obviously bought what I could afford. Like, I'm never struggling. But somebody else could have been paying my mortgage. Somebody could have been helping me pay my mortgage way sooner than they are doing now. And I could have gotten over myself and strategically put the right people in there. So maybe not a long-term roommate, which is someone that's there, for a year, 6 months. Like, I could have experimented with, midterm renters, which can be, maybe you have a friend moving into town and wants to stay for 3 months. Maybe you live near a hospital and want to rent to medical professionals. Like, it would have been a lot more money saved for me. Like, I could have probably had double in savings than what I have right now if I would have just got over myself and let somebody in this space quicker. Because I have people here now, but I should have opened the door to roommates and gotten over myself sooner. And it's so funny because I had a conversation with 2 separate people that were like, why aren't you renting out your place? Like, you can live there and they can live there too. And it just, the conversation happened to click at that moment. So when you buy, consider something like a basement, consider something like an in-suite, mother-in-law suite, something like that, where it's adjacent from the house. But even if you don't have that, which is what I don't, like, I still bought so that, the people that are renting, they have their own bathroom, they have their own bedroom, like, they have their own space, and no one goes in there but them. So think about, the functionality of your space, and is it functionable for someone else to coexist with you? That will be my biggest tip. Don't feel like you got to pay your whole mortgage on your own all the time. Now, it may not be a long-term renter. It could be a short-term renter, maybe for a month. 3 months, 6 months, whatever floats your boat. You have to know yourself. But that's something that I would have did much earlier. Third is that I would have continued to save as if I was buying another house. So I'm going to talk to y'all about that next house on another video. Let me know if I should talk about it. Let me know if you want to hear about my experience with home number 2. But I wish I wouldn't have gotten comfortable with my savings. I always save. Baby, I'm going to save, okay? Because you just never know what the future holds. But I think I got a little lax because I had accomplished this goal, and I started furnishing, and things just started adding up. I went back to traveling a little more because the pandemic was rough, and I wish I would have been saving aggressively the way that I did when I bought this home. So that would be tip 3, which kind of speaks to tip 2 and tip 1, by having someone else pay a portion, if not all, of your mortgage. Save. Like, save aggressively. Like, save more than you ever would have before, because homeownership does come with challenges. Now, granted, I have new construction. My challenges are covered under warranty. But once this warranty is over, I'm going to have to cover these things out of pocket myself. So just saving for whatever is important. And then fourthly is, and this is unique to estimated taxes, but I feel like everyone should do this, is get estimated taxes on your home. And I put emphasis on new construction because I bought new construction. I bought my home at the end of the year. And when it was time for me to pay my taxes, I realized that my lender wasn't taking out enough wasn't requesting enough for me to pay into my escrow. So they had assessed the value of this home based on the land only and not the market improvement, which is, the house being built. That raises the value of the property, which then raises the value of your home, which then raises your property taxes, okay? So I ended up having to pay more, and my property taxes were delinquent, meaning that I had more money due than I knew about. So that would be a tip for my people that are interested in new construction. Make sure you at least get a copy of your estimated taxes. You can go to your tax assessor's website and maybe compare another address that has a similar structure. Maybe it's in your community that's already built, and it's been built, so that you can log in and put their address in and see how much they're paying. But also ask your lender, ask the title company. Like, with my next home, I actually reached out to the title company and my lender to get the numbers, and they gave me 2 separate numbers, which is hella confusing. But at least it gave me a ballpark, because ultimately an estimate is just a recommendation. It's not the final. It's an estimate. So as long as it's around that, we were able to factor in what my PITI would be, and I felt comfortable with that. So that's a big tip if you plan to buy new construction. But even if you don't, you want to know what your taxes are. But if you buy something that's pre-existing, you can get the tax information much easier. Like, the seller will provide that, as well as the seller's agent. So hopefully this helps. Please comment below if you have any questions, if you have any feedback. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what other videos you'd like me to record. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.